Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all searching for a little more clarity, a little more peace in our everyday lives, right?
Absolutely.
So today we're going deep into the Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh
Wonderful book.
to uncover how we can bring these really quite simple ideas into our daily routines.
You know, it's interesting because I think when people hear mindfulness,
Mhm.
they might picture like silent retreats, complicated meditation positions,
Yeah.
having to shave their head and head off to a mountaintop. But what we find in this book is
Yeah.
a very down-to-earth, dare I say, revolutionary approach.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating about this book is how, mindfulness is this huge, intimidating concept for a lot of people.
It can be, yeah.
And he really demystifies it. So, in your view, what is the core idea he's putting forward for a listener? What's that essential thing?
Well, it's profoundly simple at its core. It's really
Mhm.
just being fully present in each and every moment of your life.
Okay.
And I know that that might sound, kind of obvious or trite,
Right.
but if you think about your own experience in your daily life,
Yeah.
how much of the time is your mind replaying past events or maybe kind of jumping ahead to future worries?
Right.
And mindfulness, as Thich Nhat Hanh presents it, is the practice of gently bringing your attention back to what's happening right now
Okay.
without judgment.
And he uses such a powerful image to really illustrate the mindful drinking of tea.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that for the listener?
Yeah, so he suggests that if you are holding a cup of tea,
Yeah.
just drink the tea.
Okay.
Don't let your thoughts drift to your emails or your to-do list or what's coming next.
Right.
Just try to focus all your attention on the experience itself.
Yeah.
So the warmth of the cup in your hands, the aromas that rise to meet you, the subtle flavors as the tea unfolds in your mouth.
Right. Yeah.
This simple act, when truly engaged with, starts to unravel this kind of constant mental commentary that often obscures our direct experience of reality.
It's so powerful. And that connects really beautifully with this foundational practice that he talks about.
Yes.
Mindful breathing, sometimes referred to as anapanasati.
Exactly. And this is, it comes from ancient Buddhist teachings, essentially referring to the practice of focusing on the breath as the primary way of cultivating mindfulness.
Yeah.
So this is a practice that's been refined and explored for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you think about it, your breath is a constant anchor to the present moment.
Right.
It's always with you. And if you can bring your awareness to that simple rhythm of your in-breath and out-breath,
Yeah.
you always have that kind of point to return to whenever your mind wanders.
So it's not about escaping. It's about actually diving deeper into our everyday experience.
Precisely. Yeah.
Being more in it.
It's not a detachment from life. It's actually a richer, more vibrant engagement with it.
Okay, so mindfulness isn't some abstract idea that requires us to sit cross-legged for hours.
Right.
How does Thich Nhat Hanh suggest our listener can start bringing this into their daily routine?
Well, there are several wonderfully simple practices he introduces.
Okay.
One that's particularly insightful is this idea of washing dishes mindfully.
Okay, so washing dishes. So instead of going through the motions on autopilot,
Yeah.
what should we be doing?
He encourages you to pay close attention to all the sensory details of the experience.
Okay.
So the temperature of the water on your hands, the feel of the soap suds, the texture of the plates as you clean them.
Yeah.
Become aware of the movement of your hands. And the idea here isn't just to get sparkling clean dishes,
Right.
but to be fully present in the act of cleaning itself.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
What's another practical technique, that he offers?
Well, mindful walking is another really key practice
Oh, yeah.
that you can easily integrate into your day.
Yeah.
So instead of just rushing from one place to another,
Yeah.
try to focus on becoming aware of each step you take.
Okay.
Feel that contact of your feet with the ground, the shifting of your weight, the gentle rhythm of your body as it moves. Yeah.
You can also bring your awareness to your breath as you walk.
So even something as automatic as walking can become an opportunity for mindfulness.
Absolutely, yeah. And he also talks about these things he calls meditation bells.
Okay.
And now, this isn't necessarily a physical bell that you have to acquire,
Right.
but rather any sound that can serve as a gentle reminder to pause and return to the present moment.
Okay.
So this could be, the ringing of your phone,
Yeah.
the sound of birds singing outside your window, even just a door closing.
Oh, that's interesting. So instead of that being an interruption, it becomes an invitation
Exactly.
to pause.
An invitation to take a breath.
Yeah.
to re-anchor yourself in the present moment.
Yeah.
It's a way to weave these little moments of mindfulness throughout your day.
It's these small shifts, right?
Yeah,
That can have such a huge impact on our overall sense of peace and presence.
absolutely.
Now, something that he returns to again and again is this
Hmm.
idea of the breath, breathing, as really fundamental to mindfulness.
Why is that? Why is our breath so essential?
Well, he says it beautifully. He says, your breath is the bridge between your body and your mind.
I love that quote.
And if you think about it, your breath is always with you, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
this constant, reliable anchor to the present. It's a physiological process that we can consciously choose to observe,
Right.
and he introduces some very specific breathing techniques.
Okay.
One is called in-out breathing.
Okay.
And it's simply the practice of mentally noting each inhalation and exhalation.
Okay.
So as you breathe in, you silently say to yourself, breathing in, I know I am breathing in.
Right.
And as you breathe out, you say, breathing out, I know I am breathing out.
And again, it seems so simple.
It is deceptively simple.
But I can imagine how that would actually really quiet the mind.
That's the power of it.
Yeah.
By gently and consistently directing your attention to the simple act of breathing and acknowledging each breath, you start to create a space between your thoughts and your awareness.
Yeah.
And there's another one that he mentions that I find particularly useful.
Yeah.
It's called half-smile breathing.
Okay. And what is that?
So in half-smile breathing, you inhale normally,
Okay.
and as you exhale, you just allow this very gentle, subtle smile to form on your lips, just a slight upturning.
Okay.
This small physical act can actually help to release tension in your face and body
Interesting.
and have this really calming and positive effect on your emotional state as well.
So simple. And again, so accessible. We can do these breathing practices literally anywhere,
Exactly, yeah.
at any time.
Whether you're stuck in traffic, waiting in line at the grocery store, even during a stressful conversation, you can bring your awareness back to your breath.
It's a really powerful tool.
It is.
Now, I want to shift our focus a little bit to relationships, which are so important to all of us.
Of course, yeah.
And the book talks about how mindfulness can really impact our connection with others in a really positive way. So how does Thich Nhat Hanh suggest we bring mindfulness into those interpersonal interactions?
Well, he emphasizes this really profound importance of what he calls mindful listening.
Okay.
Now, this isn't just passively hearing the words someone else is saying to you,
Yeah.
but really fully concentrating on the speaker with genuine attention, care, and a deep desire to understand their experience. It involves being present not only with your ears,
Yeah.
but with your heart.
So it's going far beyond just waiting for our turn to speak.
Exactly.
Right.
It means, as much as possible, putting aside your own internal thoughts,
Yeah.
your judgments, and your immediate reactions, and really trying to see the world from their perspective.
It's listening with compassion
Yes.
without the need to immediately respond.
Yeah.
And he has a really practical tip for managing those difficult emotions that come up, in relationships. Taking 3 mindful breaths before reacting to anger.
Yes, this is such a valuable technique.
Isn't it?
When you feel that anger rising, your natural inclination might be to react impulsively.
Yeah.
Maybe say or do something that you later regret.
Right.
But by consciously pausing and taking just 3 mindful breaths,
Those 3 breaths.
you create this little space between the stimulus,
Yeah.
whatever triggered your anger, and your response.
Right.
And it gives you this moment to observe your emotions without being completely swept away by them.
It's like a circuit breaker.
It is, yeah.
It prevents us from just reacting and getting caught up in all of that.
And when you extend this kind of mindfulness to all your interactions
Yeah.
with the people that you care about, your partners, family members, friends, it can really deepen those connections.
Yeah.
It fosters greater empathy and understanding. So it
Right.
can lead to stronger, more fulfilling relationships.
It's about being present,
Yeah.
seeing and being seen.
Yes.
As we come to a close on our deep dive into the miracle of mindfulness,
Yeah.
what is one profound takeaway that you think our listeners should really hold on to?
For me, it's this realization that happiness isn't some elusive thing to be chased or found in some distant future.
Okay.
It's actually fundamentally accessible right here, right now, in the present moment.
Yeah.
By cultivating mindfulness,
Yeah.
you learn to open your eyes to the richness and beauty that's already all around you.
That is so beautiful. And for me, it's this idea that we can transform even the most ordinary moments of our lives.
Yeah.
Whether it's savoring a cup of tea, taking a walk, or having a conversation, into profound opportunities for mindful awareness.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's learning to recognize the extraordinary within the ordinary.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought for your listeners.
Okay.
In the next ordinary moment that you find yourself in,
Now,
how might you bring just a little more conscious presence to that experience? What small intentional shift could you make to engage more fully with the here and now?
yeah,
And in doing so, maybe you'll discover the miracle that resides within it.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.